is up, everybody? And welcome to episode number 3 of Bills United. This is your boy HB. Alongside of me is my boy KI. And we are here for the long-awaited episode of Bills United. Thank you, everybody, for joining in tonight. We got some hot stuff, so grab an ice-cold beverage or whatever you want to drink and whatever you want to eat and sit back and enjoy the show. How are you feeling tonight, big dog?
Hey. First of all, I'm feeling good, big dog. Right. Hold on. Right. We 2-3. Hold on. We the second seed. Hey, the game wasn't good. I mean, the game wasn't cute. It wasn't it was needy greedy. But guess what? We came up on top. You feel me? But not only that, before we even get started, I want to let all the people know, man, these past 2 weeks, I know we had missed out. I know we usually are consistent on Saturday, but we've been loaded at work. We work for, FedEx, delivery. Maybe it was out to 12:30, 1 o'clock on the weekend. So we didn't even have time.
Bruh, shout out to all the people that survived peak this year, bro. It probably was the craziest peak that I've ever experienced in the last 5 years of working at FedEx. So everybody that's out there delivering, that's not delivering tonight, because I know ain't nobody delivering tonight. I'll be over my
They better not be, bro.
I'll be damned if they were tonight, man. So all the people that survived, man, big shout out to y'all. Keep on grinding, man. It's been a long one, but we made it. We out here now.
But hey, yo, HB. Yo, check this out though, bro. Before we even dive into the show, right?
What's up, man?
Man, let the people know, man. Hey, Sunday we went to the Patriots game, right? So let the people know about the vibe and the aura from the moment we got to the tailgate to the moment we got into the stadium and we was playing the Patriots, man. What was the vibe? What was the aura like?
It was surprisingly chill in the beginning. It was chill in the beginning, and then once you got to the stadium, you could see that it was a division rival. It was a division rival we went against. It was a really good game. In the beginning, it didn't look so great. You saw a lot of quiet people, but you saw a lot of calmness with the fan base and everything. So I honestly think that we did the best that we could with the plays that we had allotted to us. But we're gonna go on with the show, man. I think that bless you. That's mine. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. I got a Patriots fan over here. They felt the emotions. They felt the emotions on Sunday. And they cried. And I loved it.
And I'm gonna tell you about how I felt, right? So the moment we got to the tailgate, like you said, it was chill. But afterwards, throw it out. But afterwards, it was intense. It was a lot of, excuse my language. There was a lot of shit talking. I heard hey, somebody
was it from them or was it from us?
I think it was more from us than them, because I ain't gonna lie. I think somebody said that they would smack the shit out of Drake May. I don't know who it was, but somebody said it. It was going down. Hey, man, it was going down on Sunday.
Where my drink at, man? I want to sip my.
It was going down. But hey, man. Hey, listen, man. Hey, we finna get in tune, man. We finna dive into the show, man.
Real quick.
Yes, sir.
It was your first AFC East rival game. So how was your experience in that first rival game that you've been to?
For one, I was already hyped. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was already hyped. But the energy in the beginning, when it was up 14-0, they was talking like they was big dogs in that mofo. They thought they was dumb. We up 14-0 in the first quarter. Yeah, boys trash, this and that third. All I'm saying is by the time the third quarter ended, y'all seen that video I put in my intro? I should play it again because that's how great it was. Hold on, let me just play it again so people got for you, just in case y'all didn't see the intro. This is how legendary this moment was. You
know the vibe. Oh my God.
Get that sad Patriots fan right there.
Oh man, all two of them.
She acting like she excited.
Oh. They're right now. My man was feeling it.
Feel me? But now with that being said, let's get the video up out of here. But honestly, bro, it was a great vibe, bro. First game, divisional, we won. It's kind of crazy to see how a fan base could be so confident and cocky, and then 20, 30 minutes later, it's a whole different vibe. So me personally, it was amazing, bro. It was amazing.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. First of many. First of many.
Oh,
that was a hell of an experience. Hell of an experience.
Big dog. This is just the beginning, big dog.
Yeah.
Because guess what? The Patriots, they're gonna have to see me again next year.
Oh,
and it's gonna be the same energy because they sorry. But we won't get into that.
They might have to see us in New England. They might have to see us. They might have to take a little trip.
Yeah. You know, y'all might not see me for a month because it might go down if I go to New England.
Let's. Yeah, I'm about to say y'all might see me working at McDonald's after that, man. They might see me frying burgers, man. I'm not trying to get in no trouble, man. Come on now.
No, thanks. But hey,
get on with it.
Hey, man, let's dive into the show, man.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, as we always start off with, man, you know, something easy peasy, lemon squeezy, man. Let's get into the injury report, right? So, from what it seems like, right, a lot of players are questionable. So now my question is for you. You know, we got Taylor Rapp, Damar Hamlin, Curtis Samuel, and Cam Lewis. So this is a must-win game for us, so we can secure the second seed. So do you think, for all these questions, Bo, do you expect any of them to play, or would you prefer any of them to play?
Well, I would prefer Cam Lewis to play, for sure. Taylor Rapp has to play. I mean, it's probably one of our biggest games of the year. This is how you know it's one of the biggest games of the year, because Tony Romo don't pop up just anywhere. And you know, no Romstradamus, man, he only pops up to the big games. Bills Chiefs for sure. Facts. He pops up to the 425 games. He's popping up to this 1 p.m. game, which people find real fishy. And what I think is that it's going to be a real big game. I just think that for us to secure this win, we need Cam Lewis to play. He's been limited all week. I know that when you're limited, you have a long season. He's been playing quite some time with us. So a lot of the wear and tear does come with the game. No matter what, these players are young, but they go through a lot of punishment. So I think that with the time that they have allotted to them, to get back healthy, I think that Cam Lewis should come and play. Taylor Rapp, he should definitely come and play. If Damar Hamlin takes another week, I'm not really sweating it. And Curtis Samuel, him being questionable, it's a good thing that he's not a really big piece on the team, because if he was, then we would have to miss him, right? So we it's not like we don't value him, but we don't really miss him on the offense because he's not the key point of the offense, which we should be grateful for. So if he doesn't play, you can rest him another week, you know, give him some time to come to season finale. If not, we'll see him in the playoffs.
So this is my question, right? Because after we play the Jets, right, we go straight to New England. We are playing the Patriots, right? So this is my concern. So are you willing to really, like, they are questionable, meaning they're not fully healthy. So do you think this game is this important, knowing that we go to New England next week, that we should, instead of rest them, that we should just throw them out there?
Well, I mean, if you see the Rams game that we failed to cover, but I could get a little bit into that. When Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp were cooking us, and they had two receivers, and they had Kyron Williams at the running back. They over there had Devontae Adams, which is no scrub. Can't underestimate him. Then you have Garrett Wilson, and you have Breece Hall. Even though he hasn't had a really good season, he's still Breece Hall. So I feel with nothing, a 4-11 team that always splits with the Bills for some way, some form, since in the Josh Allen era. Yep. They split with them. I feel that there should be caution for us to play sufficient starters for this game. I don't want to come in there shorthanded, especially with us securing the 2 seed. I think that we need to have our toughest guys out there. I think we need to play an awesome game, and we need to secure this 2 seed. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't want to play just one game in Buffalo.
You know, now with that being said, valid points. So I kind of have to agree with you now, because technically, if we do play them and we win this week, it's a bye week for all the starters next week. It's a bye week.
Yeah, big time.
So I definitely agree with you on that. So now my next question is, man, are you concerned about Josh Allen's hands? So as we've seen, reportedly, he's been playing with a left broken hand. And then against the Patriots, they say it was just his elbow. Like, we watched the video over, we watched the highlights. He did fall on his elbow. But do you think it's more than just the elbow? What's your thoughts on that?
No, I think if it was more than elbow, he wouldn't play. I mean, regardless if it's a 2 seed or not, I would not risk having my starting MVP caliber quarterback to go out there and play. So if he was really hurt, I don't care. I would start Trubisky. I would start Trubisky because we already have a playoff spot already solidified. So why go out there and sacrifice MVP? So if it was really that severe, I think that we would not have him playing at all.
See, and it's crazy that you say that because I disagree. And the reason why I disagree, because like I said, I watched the video. It looked like it was the elbow, if I'm being honest, right? But he got up, messed with his hand a little bit. And he said his hands went numb for like 5 to 10 minutes afterwards. So to me, that's kind of suspect. And then, for example, Josh Allen healthy now. He all this, that, third. And it's like the medical staff is lying to us. Because how all of a sudden he been healthy all season, and now, he been playing with a broken left hand. All of a sudden, right? And then not only that, Josh Allen, I'm going to be honest, that MVP means something to him. And I bet you it means a lot to this Bills organization as well. So I feel like even if his hand does hurt, it may not be severe, but I'm quite sure it's quite hurt in some way, shape, or form. And they're going to throw him out there because they know that MVP means something to him on a personal level, as it does this whole squad. So that's my concern. And also, too, even if it is his elbow, it's his throwing arm just in general. So now with that being said, right, do you think do you think when we play against the Jets, do you think it's going to be more of a rushing game? Or do you think it's going to be more of a balanced offense due to that?
I think that the Jets-Bills game is definitely going to be more of a rushing game, but we have to put this game away quick. We have to put this game away quick in order for us to rest because Josh coming into this game is a really big risk. It is going to be a little warmer. I didn't want to cut you off when you were talking, but when you playing out in the cold, man, it's 8 degrees and it feels like 1 degree and that hard ass turf, and you fall on that turf, it feels like you fell on the cement floor. So if you've hit your funny bone, like he did like he fell elbow first and hit from here down goes numb, it's normal. It's normal. And he's literally out there barehanded with his throwing hand. So it's bound to get cold. And he predominantly threw in that game. Thank God that he didn't have to throw much. But most of his attempts in the game was passing the ball. So I don't really think it's a concern. I think that if you have an even kill running offense in this game, I think we should be fine. I feel like the Jets defense liability has been in the run this year. The defensive line isn't really that good. I know that Quinn Williams is still on there. I'm not saying he's not a good player. And I'm not saying Clemens is not a good player neither. But I feel like as a tandem, they don't play as solid on the defensive line, which compromises their 4 true linebackers that they have on their team. So the way that we attack them the first time around is the same way I think we should this time around. They don't have the personnel to mess with us on the defensive side. Ahmad Gardner, I'm not going to call him Sauce anymore until he earns that. Ahmad,
that's a fact.
Ahmad, I'm going to call him by his government name, right? Like you should name a grown man by his government name. Ahmad Gardner. He has the same amount of picks that Austin Johnson, our defensive tackle, has this year. That's just say enough. Yep. So by saying that, I say this. We're gonna run the ball, and if we pass the ball, there's really no threat either. But the threat in this game, the real threat in this game is play calling on our side. Is it gonna be soft? Or is it going to be hard-nosed? What can we get away with, right? And 2, their run defense has to be solid in this game. And for sure. It's 4 quarters in the game. It's going to be rainy 9 times out of 10 early in this game. So we have to hop on this quick. So I think that their run defense has to be one of the key factors that we got to look at in this game.
All right. Hey, great points. But now, you know what's crazy about that? Because what's crazy about that, bro, is going to lead me right into this right here. Post-game thoughts about the Patriots, right? And what's crazy about this is you could agree or disagree. I think this is the worst game that we play as an overall team on the offensive and defensive side of the game.
Okay.
When it comes since the Baltimore Ravens. Yes, we played Houston. We lost. But this game didn't look as bad as this game did, right? So with this game, right? So I'm going to give my thoughts. Our offense was terrible. Josh Allen played a terrible game. James Cook saved us. If I'm being honest,
Yeah,
James Cook
and rushing.
He was the only point. He's literally the only player that showed up this game on offense. Khalil, he had his little spurts here and there, but that's it. This game offensively was trash. Defensively, oh my God, we've been bad for the past 3-4 weeks, right? So honestly, I'm not sure if we should be concerned, because this is a rival game. It's a divisional game. They know us, we know them. So I'm not sure if I'm over exaggerating, but I know one thing for sure, two things for certain. This game was not supposed to be this close. So that's my thoughts on this.
Oh.
What's your thoughts, big dog?
Okay, so my thoughts are this. What have I been telling you? What have I been telling you from the very start? Well, maybe about mid-season. What have I been telling you about our play calling? What you tell me.
About our play calling? I know one thing you've been telling me a lot. Wait till the second half. Just wait till the second half. I know that's one thing.
Okay. So you got that.
Our play calling.
Yep.
I feel like you told me it's not creative enough. It's pretty basic.
It's condensed. They're not gonna put out there. They're not gonna put tape out there that's valuable for teams that are actually gonna be good and play us. We already solidified the spot since the 49ers game. From there on, we're on autopilot. We're literally just going through the plays and seeing if we can win with them. If we win with them, great. We have the talent and the personnel to be able to win. We gave James Cook 11 touches. 11 touches and he went over and he went 100 yards. Solid. And then he got us a receiving touchdown. So that's 14 points alone on 11 touches rushing. Okay? Keep note of that.
Yep.
Do you think that down the line he's only going to get 11 touches in the playoffs?
Oh, no.
No. I definitely see him getting
no.
more. I see him getting more. He's at 16 touchdowns this season, tying Jamar Chase. I almost called him. I almost called him. I almost did it. I almost did it. You got me. You almost did it. You almost got me with it. And I'm gonna keep that in house. 16 total touchdowns. 16 total touchdowns. He tying them with it. So I think that he's one of the unsung heroes of this offense, undoubtedly, and he's the key piece to the offense. It's condensed play for a reason. You have the Chiefs coming up. You got the Broncos probably coming up. You got the Ravens coming up. And we're going to talk about that because there's a lot of things that the Ravens and and the Bills are comparable to each other. They're comparable to each other. And it's scarily similar. It's just who's better. It's just what it is. Which defense is better and who's going to execute when it's really time to go. So.
All right, so now, with that being said, here we go. Do you think that the performance that Josh Allen had put up against the New England Patriots, do you think that affected his chances of winning the MVP this year? Do you think it affected in a huge way or slightly?
I think that if you're looking at it in a lens of recency bias, I think it definitely does. 5 touchdown performance versus a 1 touchdown, 1 interception performance. That definitely is cause to pause if you're MVP voter. So at the end of the day, I think it does affect it. But I think that people that know football that have seen what Josh Allen has worked with this year compared to what Lamar Jackson has worked with this year, I think that there's really no comparison. Because if you were to give Lamar Jackson this offense and these receivers, you mean to tell me that he's putting up the same? I don't see it. I just don't see it.
He ain't putting in no pain.
No,
right?
No. If you give Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, and you give him Zay, and you give him that type of offense, that Monken's offense, and it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. And you give him Mark Andrews, you give him Likely. It's not the same. It's not the same as having Mac Hollins. He made Mac Hollins look sweet. I'm not saying that he's not a good player, but he's making him look sweet. Making him look like a viable receiver.
Fun fact, not to cut you off, big dog, but Mac Hollins, who's especially who he's a journeyman, mainly known for special teams half the time, or most teams he on, lead us in receiving touchdowns.
Come on.
Come on, dog.
Come on. So I
Right.
think that his chances of winning MVP are gonna dwindle just off of that. And these next two games, Lamar Jackson has to win these next two games just to stay in the race. But if we win on Sunday, they're gonna rest him probably on the last week too. There's nothing to play for after that. So I think at the end of the day, it does hurt his chances. But if people really know football, Josh the MVP this year.
So on my behalf, bro, I think it hurt his chances by a large margin, right? Because like you said, I'm gonna just add on to what you said. The NFL is about what have you done for me lately? What have you put on tape lately? Right? Even though he played the Giants, 5 touchdowns, this and that third, people looking at him. Oh, it was on. Oh, no, my bad. The Steelers. It was the Steelers. I'm sorry. Was it the Steelers? No, it was the Giants, correct?
Yeah. When he
okay.
Played, and then
five.
And he went versus the Texans. And then he put a 5.
Oh, so Lamar Jackson played the Giants and y'all played the Patriots. Both sorry teams, respectfully. Yeah. He put 5 touchdowns up. You put 1 touchdown and interception. You barely beat this team. Everybody beat this team. Note.
Okay. The interception, it might have looked crazy. It might have been like, what the hell is he doing? That was a punt. Okay. If anybody knows, it's 3rd and 8. You throw the ball long, you get a chance. If they catch it in the end zone, it's a touchback. It's a punt. So anybody that wants to trip on the interception, trip on it, whatever, it's a 50-50 ball. It's in the end zone. You couldn't have placed it nowhere else better. Keon Coleman didn't go and try to play his basketball moves. He's the one that was open. So he ended up doing that. He just got caught up with the other DB that was covering him, and it became an interception, but it's not nothing to trip about. So anybody that's seeing that stat, that's a misconceived stat. Y'all can put that to bed.
Oh, no, most definitely, right? So, Leon, with that being said, big dog, what was the good, the bad, and the ugly for you when it comes to this game?
Let me get down to this this Santa Claus list I got over here for the good, the bad, and the ugly. So this one right here, the good, we ended up we won the game. We won the game. Okay, we ended up getting our 12th win. That's okay. Well, I'm happy with a win. However, it could be a field goal, be by a point. We won the game. Okay, this is about when you play to win the game. Okay, we left with little to no injuries. Okay, no notable injuries that came out that we ended up losing somebody for a week or two or nothing crazy. We came out unscathed in really low temperature weather. Okay, the third good thing is that our second half continues to be our MO for this year's Bills team. So what I mean by that is every time the Bills have been known for like being a weak second half team. So we'll be up by halftime and then we'll lose the game. And this 2024 season has been the complete opposite. It's been like they adjust at the halftime and they dominate. Regardless of the 3 losses that we've had, we have dominated in halftime. Like it's unfathomable numbers. And there's only been a few games where they've already been decided by halftime that Josh didn't have to play. But being the first couple games of the season with Miami and the Jaguars, other than that, defense plays better after halftime. The offense plays a lot more solidly running the ball because that's something that I don't know for what reason, they tend to throw the ball more in the first half than they do in the second half. And I took note of that. Unless they're playing from behind, that's when they start throwing the ball way more in the second half. And you already seen what we do when we throw the ball in the second half. So if you were to see the 40-point games that we have put up, the other 2 games with Detroit and LA, you mean to tell me that we're then going to turn around to the sorry Patriots and then barely put up 24 points? Do you think that makes any sense?
No.
Do you think that makes any sense? They have literally the worst roster in the league. If you were to take dudes on that squad and put them on another squad, they're not starting over their players. If you put any of those players 11 and 11, they're not starting anywhere. It doesn't matter. They're not starting anywhere.
So now with that being said, do you think due to our performance on both sides of the ball, do you think that we were sleeping on the Patriots?
No. I think that I said this in the beginning. I said give it till halftime. They've never played Drake May before. So I give Drake May a lot of credit. I give him his flowers. He's going to be a good upcoming quarterback once he gets the weapons allotted to him. A better offensive line because they have the worst offensive line in the league. Give that kid about 2 years with good staffing and good personnel. Give him 2 years, and that kid is going to be competition for us in the division.
And I'm about to say, something that I've been hearing lately, like you just said, oh, we never played Drake May before, this and that third.
Yeah.
But he's a raw Josh Allen, if you're gonna be honest.
Yeah.
This defense play against the better molded, more experienced version of a Drake May. Yeah. So it's kind of like, at least in my opinion, and how I visualize it, how I look at the game, Drake May is nothing that this defense that I haven't seen in years. We play Josh Allen. He's built like him. He run like him. He throw like him. So technically, what is it about him that you haven't seen? That y'all don't go against every day in fucking practice.
The difference is he's Drake May. He's not Josh Allen. And the thing is, when you play somebody and I've never seen how he played in person, it's the difference between seeing him in tape and seeing him in person. And it's like saying everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. You're gonna see Drake May in person. You have to adjust to his moveset. He's very decisive when he runs. He has a arm for talent, for sure. He doesn't fall under pressure. He stays in the pocket. He's poised. And I just feel like once they adjusted to him at halftime, the game changed for them mightily. So on 24 unanswered points, it says enough. It says enough. They gave him, what they could in the beginning. We had a couple blunders, and we know why we had a couple blunders, and we're gonna get to it because it was not supposed to be that close. It just wasn't supposed to be that close. Our offense played too vanilla, and almost lost the game because of that. So I just think that's one of the biggest components to the good second half, but the bad. So you want me to do the bad because I'm gonna grill this.
Nah. Hey, I'm gonna give you the honors.
All right, man. Listen. The D line, no show, no pressure. They can't get no sacks, and if they do, it's by a miracle. They'll get one a game if that. Okay, if it's not Greg Rousseau, it's nobody. Okay, Von Miller out the door by next year. I'm sorry, but there's got to be something set. He's too much money, and we have to find a way to either restructure that deal to keep him or whatever. But hook or by crook, this has to be it because there's games where he quit on certain plays that it just didn't. It seems uncharacteristic of him at this point in his career. At this point where they're using him as a situational pass rusher, and for some reason he's still not getting back there. I'm not understanding it. He was doing it earlier in the season just fine, and now he just after the suspension he kind of just took autopilot for the rest of the year. Linebacker play. I've been saying this since the second episode, man. Okay, our linebacker play. They have no gap integrity. These guys will let people come run to them instead of go toward them. The only two linebackers on our team that do that is Terrell Bernard and Dorian Williams. And where has Dorian Williams been? Where has Dorian Williams been? With LA, with Detroit, and with the 49ers games. Where has he been? He's been on the bench, and he's been on special teams. He's been demoted. He leads the team in tackling, and you demote him to special teams. For a guy that has a prosthetic arm out there that looks like he's playing with a half a coat on. I'm not hearing that. I'm not putting him out there for that. You play with the cast off. If you cannot tackle and take on one-on-one blocks, then you should not be playing. You should not be playing until you are healthy all the way. You're a body out there. You're going to get your reps. It is what it is. But you're not going to be a liability to the team. You're not going to do what Von Miller did last season and rush your injury back and then ruin our defense and take reps away from players that have earned their right to be on the field. I'm not a fan of that. I've never been a fan of that. Our secondary play is there. It's there. It's there. But nobody's tracking the ball. Nobody's looking back for the ball. Kyer Elam, on this dude, okay, I've been looking at him since preseason, man. One of my good friends is a diehard Patriots fan. I've been watching the Patriots on the side too. And what I can tell you is Kevin Booty, right? His name is Booty. Okay? He wasn't playing that well. I'm just gonna keep it a stat. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a stat. And this dude, And this dude, this dude is looking like boss out there. This dude looking like boss out there on 5, a first round draft pick. Which to be quite honest with you, I'm not understanding. 3 years in, 21 tackles, 14 tackles, 21 tackles. 2 picks in 3 years. First round draft pick. Can't get on the field. Had to go trade to go get a corner in Rasul Douglas. A guy that we sorely missed.
Oh God.
Because I promise you he wouldn't have done that with him. I promise you. He's practiced with Devontae Adams in Green Bay. You think that he's gonna be something? No. I can't put that past. I can't get past that. The tackling needs to get better, folks. Okay.
Terrible.
Our safety play with tackling is terrible. If it's not Taylor Rapp getting dirty, he's not doing anything. No, they're not doing. Cam Lewis is probably one of the best tackling DBs we have, and he didn't do much, folks. He didn't do much. He had a pick, and I think that was called back even. I don't know. Was it called back? Because it wasn't on the stat sheet. So one way or another.
It's updated now. It is on there.
Okay.
But as soon as the game ended, it wasn't on it. But now they updated it's on it now.
Yeah. So aside from that, tackling is going to be very major for the playoffs. We're going to be playing real teams. So I suggest we get healthy, and I suggest that we tackle better, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Practice tackling, okay? Go get a rugby coach to teach you how to tackle. Seriously, the Seahawks have done it. I don't understand why we haven't done it yet. Who do we have on staff that's teaching these people how to tackle? Who's teaching these people how to play physical? We're playing softball. I don't understand it.
Because one thing about us that you know for sure, we not taught to tackle. We taught to punch the ball out. Mm-hmm. They could literally be running right through us. Instead of us going for his legs, we holding them by their shoulder trying to punch the ball out. That's our problem.
We're looking for turnovers, and we're not looking to be felt on defense.
Pretty much.
We want to get the finesse. We don't want to get dirty. Okay? I want the turnovers too, but I want you to feel me when I hit you. Okay? We're not
like unfair.
We're not playing like that. And it's so frustrating because you pay these guys millions of dollars to take care of their bodies, to play physical, to stand for something. And you're playing like vanilla. You're playing like vanilla. You know what happens when you play like vanilla on the football field? You end up getting hurt. And that's why we have guys that never see the field. Guys like Balin Spector that have been hurt for seasons. And then once you get him on the field, he's hurt again. He's hurt again. You know what that is? It's lack of playtime. It's lack of taking your body seriously in the offseason because let's be real, some people don't take care of their bodies that well. And if it's time to hang them up, you hang them up. Okay? You don't be a liability to the team. 76.8. Okay, 76.8. I want to go back to Rasul Douglas. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we figured out why Kyrie Elam does not start for the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Break it out.
Okay. This man has been there for 3 seasons. And nobody could put a finger why he hasn't touched the field. We know that you're ass. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry to tell you. But we know that you just can't fit the script, brother.
Straight facts, bro.
And it's okay. And it's okay. Because I am tired. I am tired of seeing you on the field and having that athletic ability that you got from your brother, Matt, from your other relative, Abram Elam. They've both been in the league. Both, to be honest, subpar, mediocre players in the league. In college, they were great players. When they got to the league, they tried to get a replacement for Ed Reed. Matt Elam wasn't it. Okay? Late first-round pick from the Florida Gators, I remember. And where is he at right now? He's probably in the XFL doing something. We're number 22 somewhere. I remember that. So when I saw where he branched from, it's not like he had a Joey Porter Jr. or a Clay Matthews or he was a Watt or anything. He was an Elam. Okay, you should see how they branch. Okay, they didn't really pan out in the league. Okay, Abram Elam played for the Cowboys. He didn't play for the Browns. He was a journeyman. Okay, maybe that's Kyrie Elam's shtick. They can't move him to safety. They can't do nothing with him. So don't try to get fancy with him, Bills fans. They can't do nothing with him. He's a corner. He's a man-to-man corner that doesn't track the ball when it's time to go track the ball. he has you locked in the coverage, and then as soon as the ball's in the air and the guy's gonna catch it, he doesn't turn his head back to go try to get the ball. He's just focused on staying with you as a magnet, but that's about it. That's where it ends for Kyer. And that's okay. That's okay, but just not over here, okay? You can't do that over here.
I 100% agree. And me personally, I have a lot of stuff to say about Kyer Elam. Mm-hmm. For one, he's the worst first round draft pick that we had during the Brendan Bean and Sean McDermott era. He is the most useless part on his defense next to Baylor Spector. And I got a lot. No, I'm not even gonna go crazy on them because you said Kyle Elam trash. Baylor Spector?
Yeah, Baylor Spector.
Who sat behind and got to watch Terrell Bernard do well in his defense?
Yeah, you talking about
watch Milano sit back?
Out and up Spector, the guy where you do it out and up, and then the next thing you know, he's biting on the out, and then next thing you know, you're right behind him trying to catch the ball. He's giving in, bro.
He is so trash that every time I see his number on the field, I know it's him. That's the problem. Yeah. I shouldn't even know you on the field. You're so garbage. I know when you on the field. I just turn my head. I know they going your way.
And I try not to get on these players because everybody's got a story, man. But dude, you've had seasons to get your body right, to know the system, to understand that you can't give up empty calorie yards, dude. You can't give up big gaps when you know you're responsible for one piece of zone. And if you can't, if you know that you can't keep up with certain people, then you have to get further back. The first step is back on defense when you play in the pass. Do not let these dudes get behind you and wait for the safety to come take that. Because for one, it puts more pressures on the safeties. Don't you think they got wide receivers in the outside to cover? They can't cover both sides, dude. That's why they got you covering that big zone. So that's my frustration with him. Now, if we were to get rid of Kyer Elam, but I trust me, I've been trying to get rid of him for about a year now. Okay.
Yeah.
It would take $6.3 million of dead cap to cut him by June 1st after the season's over. So we're stuck with him for one more year before he becomes free ski right after. So the only way to do it, honestly, is to trade him, and maybe we'll have to pay him $2 million, but that's about it. But you would get him, it's $2 million. So you would have to get that off your books. The only problem with that is that we still got Scantling on our books, we still got Leonard Floyd on our books, and we still got Diggs on our books. So that's a whole other debate there. So that's really all I got for Kyer in the secondary and the bad. But the outright ugly, Brad Allen, the 11-year NFL referee that we were on all night long, like Lionel Richie, all night long.
Hold on.
And this dude, you know what, man? I'm gonna let you take
First
it.
of all,
I'm gonna let you take
first of all,
go ahead.
First of all, this hold on before I even put up the slideshow. This dude, Brad Allen, when we was at the game, every time a flag was called, you know who we seen? A referee with a white hat. I'm like, yo, who is this dude?
White hat.
Because a white hat. He's the only referee on the field that had a white hat, right? And one thing about me, I love football. I've been watching football for years. This is what I do. I sleep, breathe, and shit football. Never one time in my life, I was so invested into a referee before in my life. It's so bad that I'm like, no, I got to do research about him. And you'll be surprised on the research in the dirt that I came up about this referee. I'm like, something ain't right. Something is not right, right? So now with that being said, man, we finna get into it, right? Because he finna get this work. I'm about to expose him. I'm bringing this to the forefront.
Expose this man.
Yeah, I'm bringing this to the forefront. Because I ain't gonna hold you, big dog.
This has got to end today.
Bam.
Got to end today.
Right. So this is Brad Allen and his officiating crew. All of 2024, right? These are all the games that he's done, right? So right here, this is penalties against the away team, and over here is penalties against the home team, right? So if you go down here, right, just look on this chart. So this is against the home team. You know, not too bad. You know, no double digits. As soon as you get to the Bills, what you see?
I see somebody that's been in Vegas a little too long. That's what I see. 13 penalties. And let me not start accusing people.
Oh no, hell no. You getting accused, big dog.
But this is the fishiest. This is the fishiest penalties I've ever seen. And there's penalties that were granted that were valid, but there were some that were just so ticky tacky. They wouldn't even replay. They would just call them and that's it.
Wait, hold on. Not only that, bro. Wasn't we like a 14-point favorite?
We were. And all of a sudden we're only up by 3 by the end of the game.
Wait, hold on. Didn't we get the Patriots like third down like twice in the red zone, and every time we was finna get a stop, there was a pass interference?
There was a gentleman in a Quaker white hat coming out calling plays in a scuba suit in a white hat. And he was coming out screwing us.
And not only that,
screwing us.
And not only that, if you actually go back and watch the highlights, you don't even gotta watch the whole game. If you go on YouTube and watch the highlights, and you actually pay attention to the Patriots line, offensive line, there was a lot more holdings than 5 penalties that he called on them. There was a lot of holds. Granted,
there's holding almost on every play. You just gotta catch it. That is true. But yeah, this game was egregious. It got so bad. Matter of fact, what did Adam Schefter have to say about that, man?
Oh, perfect. Watch this. And I bet y'all a lot of y'all did not know this right here.
Go ahead.
Bam. Hold on. Let me go up to the beginning, right? So this was last year, literally a year ago. Y'all see the date, right? Y'all see it said 1 year ago. NFL decides on punishment for Brad Allen's officiating crew. Now, you probably thinking, punishment for what? What did he do? Right? So now check this out. So last year when the Detroit Lions was playing the Cowboys, right? On the 2-point conversion to where the Detroit Lions actually won the game. You know, well, you see that? Decker and the Lions celebrated for a long time before realizing there was a flag. This man did not throw a flag onto the field until after the Detroit Lions scored their little 2-point conversion and started celebrating. Afterwards, a flag just been thrown out, right? Bam. NFL fans has been complaining about how stiff punishment for Allen and his officiating crew. So the whole entire year last year, everybody was complaining about this guy. Like, yo, what's up with him? Like, what's going on? It's something fishy about this referee in particular. Out of all the officiating crews, it's something about this guy in particular, right? According to ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter, right, the veteran official and his crew are expected to be demoted, not promoted, demoted out of the playoffs.
Brad
Allen's
get him out of there.
Referee crew is expected to be downgraded and out for the 2024 NFL playoffs. That's how bad this officiating crew is. This officiating crew, Brad Allen. So that's not like, oh, all these flags. Oh, no, they was good flags. This was from last year. It was so bad last year that they told him for the next year, you're not even allowed to ref in the playoffs.
Not just him, but his entire crew. That's how
entire crew, bro.
That's how you know he took the whole ship down with him, with those 13 penalties he called just on us. Just on us.
Don't you know how you have industry plants? You know what I mean? Oh, people that they throw out there.
Oh, we getting
this
deep.
Is an NFL plant.
He
is a referee plant, and then not only that, y'all can look it up because I actually deleted the slide, right? So if you look it up, type in Brad Allen first NFL game, right? It's in 2024. Brad Allen is the only referee in history for his first game he led an officiating crew. His first NFL game, they gave him the lead to an officiating crew. Look up exactly what I just told you, and it's gonna pop right up on Google. He's a plant. He was put there from Vegas. And you can't tell me no different from what I just showed you from last game against the Patriots and from what happened last year on the slide right now.
That's deep information right there. I didn't even know that, man.
Yeah, he's a plant. And guess what? We was a 14-point favorite. If he did not call them flags back to back in them red zones like that, we would have won by more than 14.
So he won't be in the playoffs this year. He won't be in the playoffs this year. Needless to say, right? Okay. So next year, now that y'all saw this, if y'all see Brad Allen out there, do not bet on the game. There is a website where you can go and you could check who the officials are going to be for the game, who's going to be commentating for the game, and you can go check that out for anybody that's betting out there. That guy is dangerous. Don't even touch the game. I promise you.
Trust me. If he coaching or if he refereeing, is he the referee? Don't put no parlay in.
No,
please don't.
Not at all.
Don't kill your pockets because he's for Vegas. He's not for y'all.
Yeah. No.
You feel me? So now with that being said, I was upset Christmas, right? I'm gonna tell y'all why I was up. I'm gonna tell you why I was upset for Christmas, right?
So,
because the Bills received a bag of coal for Christmas. You ever heard a saying like, "Damn, everything went wrong." Everything went wrong as possible. If there's anything that could have went wrong, it went wrong. That what happened for us on Christmas. Do y'all know what went wrong?
No,
the Kansas City Chiefs secured the first seed. You know what that means? There's no home field advantage throughout the playoffs for us, unless the Chiefs get upset in the divisional round. And the odds of that is not likely. So that's for one. Number two, the Ravens have taken over the division from the Steelers. The two things that we did not want to happen happened, right? So now, with that being said, okay, well, they lost. What does that mean? It's important because guess what? Lamar, guess what? The Ravens are the third seed. Do you know what that means? What does that mean? For example, according to the current playoff bracket, the first round, we are playing the Denver Broncos as of right now. They come to Buffalo, Denver Broncos. It's not going to be an easy win, but it's a very winnable game. Oh, guess who the Ravens playing? The San Diego Chargers. The team who don't ever do anything in the playoffs, even when they have Phillip Rivers.
And
they
LT.
frauds.
And Antonio.
And LT. These brothers don't even know what a Super Bowl look like.
Jackson.
You feel me? We haven't won one, but at least we know what it looked like. These guys is frauds. So now with that being said, we gonna win against the Broncos. The Ravens gonna win against the Chargers. So you know what that means? The Ravens is coming to Buffalo. If the Steelers would have won, if the Ravens would have lost, the Steelers would have been coming to Buffalo for the divisional round.
And that would have been interesting. That would have been real interesting.
That would have been a good matchup. It would have been a better matchup. I'm not saying I'm scared of the Ravens, but I'm not saying I'm scared. But anybody would rather see the Steelers than the Ravens.
Oh,
that's a problem.
Yeah, that's common sense.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So because of that, we received a bag of coal. Nothing happened good for us on Christmas. That was our karma. For whatever we did in the past, Santa was like, here you go. Oh, y'all 12-3? Y'all talking like y'all them boys? Y'all got too many delusional fans? Y'all got too many hype men? All right, let's see how good y'all are. I'm going to send you through a gauntlet. We're going through a gauntlet now.
There's nothing better than prove people wrong than to go through a gauntlet. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't like nothing easy. As a person, I never liked nothing easy. So things that are easy to get aren't worth getting. So at the end of the day, if we're going to prove that we have a viable team, then we have to go through the Ravens, we have to go through the Broncos, and we have to go through the Chiefs. And then we'll be in New Orleans, and then we'll see from there. But
most definitely,
outside of that, we have to prove it. We have to prove it through the gauntlet, and I wouldn't have it no other way.
And one thing I would like to say, like I said, we would rather see the Steelers and the Ravens any day. No, obviously, but this Ravens team is very beatable, and we have the personnel to beat them. But when that time comes next week, and we actually see the final bracket, in which from what it's looking like, that's what it's gonna be. I'm gonna let you know. We're gonna come on this episode. We're gonna come on the next episode, and we're gonna let y'all know how we could beat every single one of these teams lined up.
It's gonna get even
because every team got a weakness.
It's gonna be even stickier for the playoffs. It's gonna be even stickier.
Oh, because I know the Ravens' weakness. I know the Broncos' weakness, and I damn sure know the Kansas City weakness.
Oh yeah, and
we could beat all these teams.
We're the only ones to have figured out their weakness.
Come on.
So
year in and year out.
Just keep that in mind. We the only team to do that.
So right. So now with that being said, you know what? Yo, Harry. Lamar or Allen for MVP?
Now hear me out. Hear me out. I'm taking Lamar. I'm gonna take Lamar. And the reason why I'm taking Lamar, separate reasons. Separate reasons. Hold your flag, Belichick. Hold your flag.
Oh, I got two more. They waiting. Go ahead. Come on.
I'm going to finish my point. I'm going to finish my point. So, one big deal. If Lamar wins the MVP, okay, if he wins the MVP, the biggest, baddest quarterback in the league right now that's playing with the least, our boy, is going to have the biggest chip on his shoulder. The biggest chip on his shoulder come January. Imagine you give Lamar Jackson that MVP trophy after the Bills just gave him a chain that said MVP on it, that basically dubbed the league and said, you are MVP. And then you come into our territory in Buffalo, presumably after we beat the Broncos, and you come in with that MVP trophy, and you said, I'm not worried about that MVP trophy. You know what I'm worried about? I'm worried about Lombardi. And I sincerely think that Josh Allen doesn't care about that MVP. I really don't. I think that he cares more about the Lombardi. I think it means something to the league, but I think that it means more if he gets the Lombardi for the Bills. So part of me is biased to think that Lamar will get it statistically because his stats are amazing. His stats are just unfathomably great. The only thing that Josh is beating him in is record. Everything else Lamar has. And if it wasn't for their defense, they would have lost less games this year. They would have beat the Browns. I'm not hearing that. They dropped 4 picks. They could have ended the game. So if you take that loss out, they're only one loss short of that game. And then had they won the season opener, they would have had the same record as the Bills. So thinking about it, the only legitimate loss they've had this season was the Eagles. So they're still a viable team in the league. So I think that with them trying to give an MVP trophy away, I think at the end of the day, it's all subjected to the end of the season and recency bias. So I think they're going to give it to Lamar Jackson.
All right. So don't you see how I threw 2 challenging flags? I mean, I threw 2 challenge flags?
I definitely saw that.
Since you're trying to get Lamar 3 MVPs, I'm going to throw 3 challenge flags.
Okay.
Because this is some bullshit. I'm not hearing none of this. Now, hold on. Now, before I go on my rant, because it's about to be a rant, I just want to give a shout out to 2 people in the comment section. First one, I want to give a shout out to Joey Hatch, man. Hey, man, I appreciate you showing up, man. Showing love, commenting.
Big love, Joey Hatch.
And also, too, before I go on my rant, I want to answer 2 of your questions that stood out to me. The first question, he was like, if we don't watch out, we will be playing Cincinnati. Cincinnati will not be making the playoffs, brother. I'm going to tell you why. Because Denver have to lose 2 games in a row. They lost to the Bengals. And guess what? They got to lose next week. And then guess who else got to lose 2 times? The Colts. They got and not only that, 4 teams got to lose 3 more times. I mean, 2 teams got to lose 3 more times, and the Bengals got to win another one. The odds of that happening is not good. They got a 15% chance of making it to the playoffs, right? And then another question I want to answer. He said our defense can't tackle Derrick Henry. He's all over us the first time. It won't be any different the second time. Oh, it's gonna be different at -4 degrees. He gonna be making business decisions for his life, not for the game, not for the love of the football, but for his life.
Big time.
You thought that motherfucker was a truck? He gonna be getting hit by a semi truck. It's gonna be a semi truck hitting him. That's what it's gonna feel like. It's gonna be different. But next week we gonna get into that big dog. And also another shout out is to my boy, man, Julian, man. Shout out to Jay Mafia, man. Shout out to Mafia Talk, man. They go live every Wednesday, man, at 8:30. Very entertaining, man. Hey, man, go show my boy some love. Go follow. Go give my boy a share. Follow him on YouTube, man. Hey, man, go take care of my boy, man. He always supportive. He gonna give the people what they want. He gonna let you know what you need to know, big dog. So, hey, man, go tune in with my boy. But now Man, let's get into it, bro. I ain't finna play with you, bro. MVP? Hold on. Before I go off, you say you got Lamar, right?
Yeah, I got Lamar touted.
I'm about to give you every reason on why Josh Allen should win MVP. And we're gonna start off right here. You know what? Let me start cooking. Because this is gonna be a little minute for y'all. So please stay in tune to what I'm finna cook up, right? So this is last year, 2023, right? 2023. Lamar Jackson, right? 3,678 passing yards, right? Pretty good, right? What was Josh Allen's? 4,306 yards, right? So he got more passing yards than him. Hold on, what about touchdowns? 29 passing touchdowns. Let's see what Lamar had. 24 passing touchdowns for Lamar. So Josh Allen had almost 400 or 500 more yards with 5 more passing touchdowns. Okay, that's cool. Okay, Lamar Jackson, he had 7 interceptions. What Josh Allen had last year? 18. 11, he had 11 more interceptions. Okay, that's valid. What about QBR? A 69.6. What about Lamar Jackson? A 64.7. So you tell me that Josh Allen had 11 more interceptions, but somehow had a better QBR than you? Doesn't even make sense, right? So hold on. Last year, Lamar Jackson had 821 rushing yards for 5 touchdowns. Josh Allen had 524 rushing yards for 15 rushing touchdowns. Statistically, Lamar only had hold on. 821, right? Statistically, Lamar Jackson had 300 more rushing yards than Josh Allen and 11 less turnovers. Everything else he got blown out. So now with that being said, right, big dog? Why did he win MVP last year? I want to ask you that. And Josh Allen outplayed him in almost every statistic, including QB.
Less
so why did he win it last year?
Less turnovers and less to work with. The same story that Josh Allen has this year. Less to work with, and is doing the best with what he can. And literally, if it wasn't for him last year, they wouldn't have made the playoffs at all.
Right?
He was carrying teams by himself. The same thing that Josh is doing this year, respectfully.
Respectfully, right? Okay. So now let's go to this year.
And hold on.
Okay.
Do your thing. I want you to go back to that page and see what I'm seeing, because if
Bam,
you want to go off of last year, look at Josh's stats. If you go to Josh's stats, he had 43. He had 4,300 yards passing. He had 29 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. When they started that season, they started ugly, and Josh didn't look like an MVP.
Oh yeah, I think Jordan
Poyer himself at the end of the season, when I met him, he said we're gonna win 5 in a row. Trust me. I said, I looked back at him and I said, you sure? And he just looked at me. He was like, I don't know about that either, man. I was like, but it was what it is. We chuckled about it, and that was it. Josh Allen played with Diggs, with Davis, with Kincaid, with Cook. He had players to pass the ball dominantly too, okay?
Yep.
He was playing from behind a lot, so his yards passing are definitely going to be up there. He had to control the game by passing the hell out of the rock. We didn't really establish a run game until the end of the season. So that's our subjective. When you have to literally throw for hella yards just to stay in the game, it's subjective. It is what it is. The turnovers are going to come with throwing the ball a hell of a lot more. And the 15 rushing touchdowns is the only thing I see where that's Superman. That's Superman in the flesh. It's the only thing that kept them in the conversation that year. But last year, that's the only thing that kept them in the conversation. 15 rushing touchdowns.
So are you telling me when we were 6-6 during week 12 and we had a 0.001% chance of making the playoffs, we was counted out of the playoffs, bro? We was 0.001% chance. So the fact that we went on a winning streak like that to become the second seed, you don't think that had any effect on why he should have won MVP last year compared to Lamar Jackson, who had the number 1 seed almost the whole year?
No, because he did it all. He did it the whole year. He did it the entire year. So there was no slippage in the year. He did it consistently all year. So had Josh did it consistently all year, then it wouldn't have hurt his chances. But since he didn't do it in the beginning of the year and he looked like crap in the beginning, and we all know why, he had a bunch of stuff in his mind, drama, the whole nine. It changed the trajectory of his path to the MVP. Toward the end of the year, he made a push. It's the same push Lamar's making right now. It's late in the year. It's the same push that Josh did last year.
I want to debate your knowledge, right? You said that we basically switched this year, right?
Yeah.
So are you telling me that Lamar had less to work with last year compared to the Bills?
Yeah.
And if so, elaborate on it just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Well, okay. Well, let me tell you something. They didn't have a running back viable enough to play that over there. They just didn't. They didn't have that.
And I disagree with that. I mean, I guess I disagree with that, but I disagree with the logic. You know why? Because we did not use our running backs into the second late half of our season when we got Joe Brady.
They had Gus Edwards at running back. You know what Gus Edwards is right now? He's a rarely used now running back over in the Chargers. J.K. Dobbins is out there. They're still running the tandem over there, but they took it to L.A. And J.K. Dobbins didn't play with Baltimore his last year. He got hurt. He was on the shelf with Arron Rodgers.
But Dobbins is nice. Let's be honest, though. Dobbins no scrub.
Who?
Dobbins.
Yeah, but he didn't play. That's my point. He didn't play. So having him not play, Lamar then is stuck with Gus Edwards. Respectfully, he was a good back, but he's not a every down back. He's a power back, 30 short back. Yeah. So they're playing with him. So he had to carry all that. Go back to his stats. Go back to Lamar's stats. As I'm speaking. So
yeah,
you have him going. You have him having to carry that load and having to win games with the little stats that he provided. You see, those stats are subjective. The 5-yard touchdown. Their defense was better last year. They had to score less, and he controlled the pace of the game, both with his legs and with what he had provided to him. So, receiving wise, who did he have a receiver last year besides from Zay Flowers? You have Mark Andrews, but did likely come onto the scene last year? Did likely come onto the scene last year the same way he did this year?
No, completely different.
Okay, why did likely come to the scene this year? The way that he did.
Derrick Henry.
Was it
Derrick Henry?
Or was it Lamar?
Derrick Henry, bro. Come on, bro.
Who's throwing him the ball? Who's throwing him the ball?
Who is these? Hold on. Are these teams that are going against the Baltimore Ravens? Are they plotting against Derrick Henry or these receivers? Who are they game planning against?
They have to
so exactly. Them. So if you game planning against Derrick Henry, guess what that means? Y'all have less time to game plan against receivers.
I wouldn't say
so. That's why this whole. You know what? And you know what? We're gonna save that thought because I got some statistics for y'all. I'm gonna save that thought.
Okay.
I'm about to chew these boys up. And why if Lamar win MVP, that's how you know the NFL is bullshit. Because guess what? Last year, because MVP means most valuable. Yeah. Josh Allen was the most valuable player last year compared to Lamar Jackson. If you want to go by statistics,
the one thing I would say.
Fact,
go ahead.
You go ahead.
No.
Because at the end of the day, Lamar Jackson only won MVP last year because they had a better winning record. Literally. And so guess what? Y'all better not change that. Y'all better not change the fucking platform or the identity of the MVP again to fit Lamar Jackson favor. Because guess what? Like you said, literally the roles is flipped. It's the complete opposite. And we got the better record. Yeah, Lamar Jackson, yeah. While our team got worse, when it comes to talent-wise, your team got better talent-wise. And guess what? We got a better record. So guess what? Y'all better keep that same format for this Buffalo Bills team for Josh Allen to win this MVP. And I ain't hear none of that. But I'm getting heated because I'm about to go off because I got slides. But it's making me mad. It's bullshit.
Yeah, you better put that fan on high. You better put that fan on high, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to get hot.
It's on medium. It's about to go high.
Yo, what I can tell you is that Josh right now is playing at an unbelievable level.
My boy Doug. What up, big dog? Hold on. After I finish saying what I'm saying, Doug, I'm gonna get straight to your comments, bro. Give me a second, bro. Go ahead, big dog.
You know what? I want to listen to what Doug got to say. What Doug got to say?
So my boy Doug and my boy Parrish, right? They both of them are Baltimore Ravens fans, right?
Oh yeah, I definitely want to hear this. Go ahead.
Right. And he was like, "Oh, Andrews was hurt half the season, and they beat everybody top team on schedule." Parrish talked about Lamar Jackson is 3 times MVP, and Doug said his team ain't get better. Lamar got better. Hold on, I smell delusion. The Ravens ain't get better from last year to talent wise. Are you serious right now? Hold on. No what? Wait till I get out what I gotta say. Now I'm on both of y'all cases. I'm on your case, Doug. You my dog, but I'm on your ass, bro. We gonna get it though.
I can tell you that they got better at corner. I can tell you that they got better at running back.
Tight end.
I can tell you that they upgraded at tight end with the usage of Isaiah Likely.
Agree.
Mark Andrews showing up late in the year. He's doing his best impression of Dawson Knox right now, because Dawson Knox comes in and resurrects whenever he wants to, and our teams are so comparable that you can almost compare every player on the Ravens roster to the Bills roster, which makes it so much better of a matchup.
Elaborate.
Elaborate. I'm gonna elaborate. Zay Flowers is Khalil Shakir.
That's valid.
Dawson Knox is Mark Andrews. The stats might not show it, but Dawson Knox is Mark Andrews. Isaiah Likely is Dalton Kincaid. Respectfully, Dalton Kincaid is a lot more talented of a tight end. Derrick Henry is James Cook. I'm not going to tell you that Derrick Henry is a powerful back like James Cook, but you can't tell me that when James Cook gets that ball,
come on, bro,
he's just as powerful and dynamic. Look at the stats, bro.
He's more dynamic but powerful.
No. I'm
nowhere near.
More powerful. That's delusional. I'd be delusional to say that, bro. What I'm telling you is that the same production that they're getting from Derrick Henry, we are getting from James Cook. So productive running backs is what I'm saying. So just stay with me. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, the same type of players. Dual threat, can throw, can run. Very big difference in stature. One is 6'5", 240. One is about 6'1", 6 foot, about 200. Okay. So their statures are much different. What stature helps you in January? I believe that it'd be Josh Allen's.
Of course.
We have 3 running backs. They have 2. That's the only thing. I love Justice Hill. I got love for Justice Hill. But he's not going to be the guy that's going to replace Ty Johnson and Ray Davis.
Not at all.
Like production-wise. So Justice Hill is good at receiving. He's the one that killed us, that opened the gates, the floodgates, when we faced them in Baltimore. But just wait until they have to come over here. And then we got to get rid of the wild card stuff. And then we'll worry about Baltimore. We'll get Baltimore's case. But look at everything that I just said. On the offensive side of the ball, it's the same. It's the same. The only thing, the difference is they play a 3-4. We play a nickel defense that disguises as a 4-3. So that I'm gonna answer Doug at a later time on that case.
And also too, I want to say this real quick. Joey's like, yo, Harry, your lobbying for Lamar Jackson made me want to pull your Bills card.
Who said that?
Joey Hatch.
Okay. It's okay, man. Listen, in the start of this series, man, I got love for Joey, man. So I'm gonna just tell it like it is. I'm gonna tell you what you gotta hear, not what you want to hear. So at the end of the day, there's got to be an argument for the 2. And us as Bills fans, we would love for Josh, bro. I would love for Josh to get an MVP. But what I would love more is Cinderella story, because I love wrestling too. I'm a big wrestling fan. So one thing I love is long-term booking. And I said this in the beginning of the year when we were panicking versus Houston, we were panicking versus Baltimore. Do we look sorry? We look this, we look that. I said, these are the teams we're going to face in the playoffs. And if it's one thing I would love is for us to get our get back in the playoffs. If it ain't versus Houston.
You've been saying that all season.
I've been saying this all season. I want my get back versus them, versus Houston, but we probably won't get it. I want my get back versus Baltimore because that ain't happening again.
Oh,
and
no,
I want my
sure.
get back, and I want my get back KC in the playoffs. And I want it to be New England style. I want it to be we tired of these MFers, bro. We're tired of them.
Oh yeah.
And we gonna end it at their home turf.
But and I agree with you. And I agree with you. You know why? Because one thing about the Baltimore Ravens, them niggas don't show up in the playoffs.
No.
Do you know?
No.
If I'm not mistaken,
not recently, no.
I think Lamar Jackson only got 3 wins in the playoffs. That brother is sad. As soon as they get to the playoffs, they forget what their identity is. You got there by running. Why did you stop running? Why? What is you doing?
It's you know how McDermott gets called for the play calling all the time. At some point, people gotta call for Munkins in his play calling too, and Harbaugh in his play calling too. Whoever calls the plays over there in Baltimore, they need to be fired. That too. They need to be called out for. Oh, I'll be going crazy, bro. If you think Harbaugh will be fired, he won't be fired. What my whole thing is, I would not sit there and act like they can't be called out for the same thing we gonna be called out for.
Facts.
So it's the same thing as me lobbying for Lamar Jackson. I can't sit there and have a one-sided argument. People need to hear 2 sides of the coin because I don't want to discredit Lamar's great season, and I don't want to sit there and act like he's not even viable to be in the conversation. He's more than viable. Because if they didn't have Lamar, what would they be? They would still have Derrick Henry, and they'd be a mediocre team. They'd be barely pushing for the playoffs. And if Josh Allen wasn't on that team, we would be dead.
Yeah, we probably be like
we probably would be looking like the Patriots.
2-14.
We would look like them. We would be fighting. You feel me? I would give us a little more credit. We look like the Indianapolis Colts.
That's too much respect. That's too much respect, bro.
That team is 1 week they figured out our quarterback. Next thing you know, they don't figure it out anymore.
I think we'd be more like the Bengals. We will be relying on 3 other teams to get in the playoffs.
Okay, the situation. Okay.
I think that's where we'd be. I think we'd be in the Bengals situation.
We would not be putting up 40 a game.
Especially with Mr. Trubisky. Hell no.
We barely put up 20.
Yeah.
That is respectfully, if we run the ball like crazy, we turn to the 49ers all of a sudden, we might stay in games. But that's about it. That's all you could do when you don't have a quarterback is run the ball and do play action passes and little short stuff. So
and also too, y'all, I see our comments, right? But hey, check this out. Wait to the next segment, right? Because hold on, I'm not done cooking y'all niggas. I mean, my bad. I'm not done cooking y'all boys. There we go. Because guess what? I ain't done with my MVP debate. I only got through 1 slide. I got a few more left to go. So now I brought to y'all, right, the last year stats. You know what? Let's fast forward a year to the current time. All right, check this out. And this is respectable, right? Look at this year's stats. This is how it was last year, but just on the opposite end. Lamar Jackson, like I said, I'm not no hater. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a respectful person. I'm not a biased player. I'm not biased to my team. I'm not biased. If Josh Allen play trash, you won't get that work. Lamar Jackson is doing his thing. He's balling. This is the best season I think I ever seen him. He's efficient. He looks scary. He breaking Michael Vick records. He breaking NFL records. He's official.
He's putting up Peyton Manning records, dude. And he's a mobile quarterback doing Peyton Manning record numbers.
Come on. But do you know what my problem is? Right here. 12-3, 11-5. And do you know why that's my problem?
Why is that?
It's because that's the same reason why Lamar won it last year and Josh Allen didn't. So the fact that this conversation is being had and the fact that it's pretty known to the world, to all football fans, that Josh Allen is working with less. Our team is completely, on paper, we are a lot worse than we were last year. On paper. And the fact that we are 12-3 when during the beginning of the season, everybody counted us out. Most people didn't even expect us to make the playoffs. They say Josh Allen can't do nothing for Stephon Diggs, right?
Yes.
So now, with that being said, y'all have to keep the same format this year that y'all kept for Lamar Jackson last year. Y'all have to keep the same format. And if y'all don't, there's a narrative being built for Lamar Jackson on why he won his third MVP. Because it's literally flipped.
Well, I built the narrative. And I think that
let me hear it, big dog.
So you see four rushing touchdowns down there to 11 rushing touchdowns, correct?
You said what?
You see four rushing touchdowns for Lamar Jackson. You see 11 for Josh, right?
Oh yeah, let me zoom in. But yes, I see it. Yes, sir.
Why do you think that is?
The snowplow.
What do you mean?
Snowplow is when we had like the 3rd or 1 yard line and it's a quarterback sneak.
Derrick Henry.
Oh, yeah, that's a fact. Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
He's ripping his touchdowns. Okay, 12-3, 11-5.
Yeah.
Again, they should have beat the Chiefs with Isaiah Likely with his pinky toe or his fat toe on the white line. They should have won. That's already 12-4. And then you're looking at a team that should have beat Cleveland, and their defense. The defense messed that game up, not Lamar.
Okay.
And they don't play, and needless to say, they lost to the Steelers too. Are the Steelers slouches?
No, but the Browns are. Oh, my bad. Yeah, go ahead. My bad. We ain't losing nobody like the Browns. We lost the playoff teams. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you're looking at two individuals right now with mostly the same record. Okay? Because I could debate our 3 losses. I could debate them. We shouldn't have lost to Houston. Bad play calling.
For sure.
Lose. So we should have been 13-2.
Coaching.
We got buzzed by Baltimore. So I'm not even gonna fight that.
Oh nah, you can't. Them boys destroyed us.
Yeah. and we were mismatched in the NFC West with LA. Because I forget that we lost to them. That was a trap game. And I thought we should have won that game, but we didn't do the right things in the first half. So they destroyed us in the first half, attacked, and that was the only team that attacks in the first half that looked that dominating. Because even with Baltimore, it was only 21-10. So you're looking at two individuals with predominantly the same record. They're one game short, and you're going to tell me that you're going to give Josh the MVP because he's one game or two over?
Yeah. They did it for Lamar last year.
They did. But at the same time, it's predominantly the same record. And he's dominating in every single statistic. And he's dominating in every single game. You can't tell me that we didn't dominate in the beginning of the season to the point where he was sitting down on the couch. The same way then Lamar ain't doing that. Lamar finishing these games because he want to make you know that he's him.
But
I'm just saying.
Did we not average 30 points for 7 games in a row with people that don't nobody know who's on our team except for Bills fans?
We have.
With a hurt offense, without a Keon Coleman for weeks, without a Don Kincaid for weeks. Tell me a player that's on the Ravens. Tell me a player on the Ravens on offense that's been hurt this year.
Did Josh do all that
minus
work?
Mark Andrews.
Did Josh do all that work?
Elaborate. Like, what you mean by did he do all the work? Like, did he be Superman?
Is he the reason? And I go like this for a reason. Is he the reason why there's 16 more touchdowns on their books, and we're putting up 30 every game? Because they ain't just.
I mean, James Cook be cooking. Mac Hollins be cooking.
Because the last thing I see right there is 39 passing touchdowns to 4 picks to 26 touchdowns and 6 picks.
Okay, so now with that being said, bro, Zay Flowers, outside of Khalil, right? Zay Flowers, right?
He's number 2. Yep.
He's number 2, right?
In any other team, he's number 2, but he's number 1 on this team.
Number 1 on this team, right? So tell me what receiver that we have that's better than Zay Jones on this Zay Jones.
Zay Flowers.
Oh, I say Jones. I'm tripping.
Yeah,
Then Zay Flowers on his team, on his Bills team.
Comparable, Khalil Shakir.
Comparable. Outside of him.
Nobody else.
What about Isaiah Likely? What about Isaiah Likely?
Don Kincaid.
But have Don Kincaid really been showed up this year?
No.
He been hurt a lot.
They haven't given him. He's been hurt once. It derailed his. Yeah, it derailed his play time for sure.
So yeah, I ain't gonna lie. James Cook.
Do they need to use him that much when Aaron Cromer's been having our offensive line playing like lights out this year?
I mean, Lamar Jackson offensive line pretty good too.
They're not better than ours.
I mean, but it's not far off.
No, it's pretty far off.
I don't think so, bro.
It looks like that on paper because they're dominating running the ball, but passing the ball, he's been sacked half as many times. So that's what I'm saying. It's very sticky. It's a very close battle. So in my opinion, if the records were to be the same, who are you taking? If the record, they're one game.
So short. Okay,
they're one game.
I'm gonna be honest with all you Ravens fans that's in the comment section, for all the Bills fans that's in the comment section, and for the people who are gonna watch this live afterwards. I'm not a biased person. If it's actually mean MVP, going by statistics as of what a real MVP is, as Josh Allen should have won rightfully last year.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson deserved this MVP this year. If we going by what an MVP actually mean. But the reason why I'm not going for MVP this year for Lamar Jackson is because what they pulled last year on us when Josh Allen rightfully earned that. Bottom line. But right now, if I want to be honest, if I want to be a true football fan, Lamar Jackson deserved his MVP.
Oh, yeah.
He deserved his MVP. I'm not going to lie to you. And honestly, if they didn't do what they did last year, this wouldn't even be a topic. It wouldn't even be an argument in the media world in general, in the sports world in general.
Nah.
They made this happen.
They're making this MVP battle thing bigger than it has to be. And they're making it bigger than the Lombardi, in my opinion. So I just think that they're missing the boat when it comes to which one's more important. But I think it's more of that, and that's a lot of slow stuff going on right now because everything's pretty decided. So they don't have nothing else to talk about in the sports world. So they're making this real important, more important than it has to be. Because just a trophy at the end of the day, it's not the trophy that tells you who's the best of the best.
Hey, yo, bro, I have a question. Well, Doug have a question. I think this is actually a good one because me and you had this conversation, and it goes right into this conversation. He said, "What if Saquon Barkley break rushing record? Do you think he's going to get it?"
Respectfully, no. He's going to get offensive player of the year for sure. But he's not going to get most valuable player.
And I'm gonna tell you,
and I only say that respectfully because statistically, a lot of quarterbacks get this trophy. It's not no shame. It's not no shade on Saquon. No, he's gonna be OP. He's gonna be OP player of the year. But like that's it. Like I'm not giving him MVP just because it's either Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. They're the leaders of the team. You play quarterback, dude. You're handing the ball off to them. And that's if you're subpar.
So for one, the MVP is only a quarterback award. It's not a running back award. It's not a wide receiver award. Because if that's the case, Tyreek Hill should have won it. We had over 2,000 receiving yards.
Yeah.
When was the last time LaDainian Tomlinson went crazy? Adrian Peterson went crazy. Chris Johnson went crazy. Have any of them ever won an MVP? I think Adrian Peterson did.
Adrian Peterson, I believe, won offensive player of the year.
Not MVP.
Because that was the year that Peyton Manning went for 58 touchdowns.
Woo-hoo, damn.
That's disgusting. Crazy. That's why I tell you, like, they're not far off. Ooh. So when I tell you how similar Lamar's numbers are to Peyton's, it's gross. It shouldn't even be done by a dude that was characterized to be Michael Vick. So imagine Michael Vick and Peyton Manning in the same body. Could you imagine a player like that? That's
I
Lamar
didn't pass
Jackson.
out watching that.
That's what Lamar Jackson looks like with with one receiver and 2 tight ends.
Doug said AP won the MVP that year. He said he actually won the MVP. I'm not sure. You know what? Yeah, I'm about to say search that up, big dog. Search that up. Because I don't remember a running back. I do remember one running back winning the MVP within the last 2 decades. And we had great running backs that broke records, who did sensational things. And only one of them won an MVP. I think it was AP, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not sure. It had to be either him or Chris Johnson.
Nah, Chris Johnson. I don't think won the MVP. But he was I think 8th in the list when he became a 2,000-yard runner. I think he was like
8th?
Number 8 to do that, yeah. And I know Derrick Henry's up there with 2,000 yards. I know that now Saquon possibly is going to be up there. He has to average like 100 and like he has to average 167, I think, yards per game.
Saquon?
To get the record. Yeah, to get the record.
Oh, he ain't getting that.
Dude, he plays the Giants.
He ain't getting that, bro.
Dude, he plays the Giants. He plays his former team. He plays his former team.
They go off on them boys earlier.
So, no, I stand corrected. He did win the MVP. He did win the
AP.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm about to say, if that being said, yeah, AP.
So then it switched.
Yeah, so AP's the only running back that won it within the last 2 decades. Probably the only running back that won it since I've been born.
Well, yeah, that and Thurman Thomas. I don't know what year Thurman Thomas won it.
Oh, it definitely had to be a Super Bowl era because it definitely wasn't after I was born.
Oh yeah.
That's a fact.
He won it in 91. We weren't even born yet.
Yeah, I even know what Earth was. I mean, what Earth was. So yeah. So the MVP is a quarterback reward, and now it's official. It ain't. I don't think a running back will ever win MVP again, especially because it's a passing league. It's a quarterback-driven league now.
I wouldn't go that far.
Why you say that?
It's only gonna take one down quarterback year, like last year, for Saquon. Because I'm telling you right now, Saquon would have had the same year this year that it like last year. If he would have had last year, he would have won the MVP. Because what you just popped up or there earlier is nothing compared to what is going on this year. Like they look crazy this year. So, I think that them as a team, the Eagles as a team, defensively built team too. Saquon is carrying that offense. He is. But
for sure,
they also have Devontae Smith. They have A.J. Brown. They're going to take the ball away from Saquon just to make A.J. Brown happy at times. It runs through Saquon. What decided it for me was when they played Washington and they didn't run the ball enough. Something was up with that. When they lost Jalen Hurts, they should have ran the ball a hell of a lot more.
I'm about to say, is that when Jaden Daniels, whatever, he threw 5 touchdowns?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I just think that at the end of the day, though, that game right there decided it for me because he could have had a little more yards to be able to beat or win the rushing record. I think he'll fall short of it. Do I want him to take it? Of course. I want to live to see that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because only a few running backs get to do that every so often. But they have 17 games a season. You got running backs coming down the pipe that's going to be able to do that.
I ain't think about that. That's a fact. Extra game. I ain't think about that.
Yeah. So that it's going to help. So I think there's not going to be any running backs how we've seen them in the past where they were able to do it in less games. So, and it was a different game back then. You were running the box. You have 8 in the box, and they still didn't care. They were running the ball no matter what. So, I think that the MVP trophy this year, though, long story short, is going to go to one of the 2 quarterbacks.
Okay, I agree. So now, before I finish my little debate, I just want to go through this little slide, right? So this is from 2023, at the end of 2023. So you see the statistics, you see the stats from both players, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. From what you're seeing right now, no bias, none of that. Is Lamar Jackson 2 MVPs better than Josh Allen from what you're looking at right now?
Who's the MVP?
No. So this is from 2018 to now. And I'm just saying. So these are the statistics after the 2023 season, after last year. Do you understand from what you're looking at how he is 2 MVPs better than Josh Allen? Just from all these statistics from after the end of last year?
I wouldn't understand it, but I see what you mean now. When it comes to
Thug. Yeah, Doug. You see this? I really want to know what you say after you see these stats. Let me know. How is he 2 MVPs better than Josh Allen from looking at these statistics? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know, big dog. Because clearly he's not.
Okay. One, who did he have in those years since 2018? And what did he do in the beginning? What did Lamar look like in the beginning compared to Josh Allen?
If I'm not mistaken, did Lamar Jackson win MVP his rookie season or his second season?
I believe it was his second or third season.
He won his MVP?
Yeah. I think it was the second season.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because I think
19,
he was the youngest to ever do it.
I think it was 19 where he won the MVP. And he became the solidified starter because the first start wasn't that great. He had like 3 completions for like 11 yards. Chargers playoff game, forgettable. He had like 3 picks. Wasn't ready to start. Had to start. First round of playoffs. Lost to the Chargers. Rough game to watch. That was how it started.
So now this is my question, right? Your first question was, what did Lamar have? What did Allen have?
Oh, he had just as much as him. Nothing. They were both rebuilding franchises.
Rebuilding franchises. Both of the quarterbacks rose our franchises to where we are today.
Yeah. We made
both started from the Browns.
We made Reuben Foster look nice. Reuben Foster was another receiver that we had when Josh Allen was a rookie. We made him look nice.
And Doug, I'm not too in tune. I'm not fully in tune into like the Baltimore Ravens, like our coaching staff. But Josh Allen had what? 3 offensive coordinators within his 7 years.
Yeah.
What? We had what?
They had
3 defensive coordinators, pretty much at this point, if I'm not mistaken, or 2.
We had Dable, Dorsey, and Brady, and they had Greg Roman, and they had Greg Roman from the start to just recent, and then he moved to Munkins.
Right. So
they had consistency, but they got tired of that West Coast system, and they decided to go with a more passing pro, balanced offensive coordinator in Baltimore. That's why you see him with 30 plus touchdowns passing as opposed to rushing.
Exactly. So now with that being said, if you want to be on the technical aspect, Josh Allen had to deal with more learning systems, more different systems, more philosophies when it comes to coaching and offenses. Offense when it compared to Lamar Jackson, who just recently got his offensive coordinator changed.
Yeah.
And look at his stats. So with that being said, no matter who that, yeah, go ahead.
Our system never changed though. Our terminology never changed. The only change that they've had was the flavor of ice cream that Joe Brady wanted to bring to that offense that was already installed. So the terminology hasn't changed. Joe Brady was taught the ways of Brian Daboll and Ken Dorsey. What he said was, y'all missing the bigger picture. We could run the ball with what we have. And then they got Aaron Cromer involved with the offensive line. We ended up coaching them up really well. He should get an award just for fixing that whole situation that we had on offensive line. Losing Mitch Morris, having to figure out the stability of the offensive line, getting Spencer Brown back in the best shape at a right tackle. Deion Dawkins having the best season of his career, arguably. Osiris Torrance not having much of a sophomore slump. Connor McGovern starting a whole new position at center that he hasn't played since high school. He played he had one start at center at offensive line. And then you got David Edwards, a guy we never even heard of at left guard.
Yeah.
Okay? So you have all that. And then our second string linemen are just as good as our first string guards. They're not better than our tackles. Let's not get debated. That's not even debatable.
Nope.
But he should get an award alone. Our consistency has stayed the same. For Lamar Jackson, it hasn't. For the Greg Roman to Munkins is night and day, which is why they look rough in the beginning. In the beginning of this season, having to incorporate a Derrick Henry and having him being loaned back, instead of having a fullback in front of him, having DeMarco involved in the game, that changed Derrick Henry's trajectory completely because he was going to look like a dud in the beginning of the season. So the consistency with Lamar Jackson changed when Munkins came in because he became more of a quarterback. With Greg Roman, he became more protected because remember, Greg Roman used to coach Alex Smith. He used to coach Tyrod Taylor. He used to coach Colin Kaepernick. He used to coach mobile guys that had few receivers, that had decent running backs to great running backs, and were able to utilize the running game a little more, had the triple option, had the pistol offense, was something I know very well about. And that's how they were able to sustain the success around Lamar in the beginning. But they took the training wheels off and said, we're going to turn him into a passing quarterback. Now we need him to get receivers, and it made it tough for him to get those receivers because he was known as a passing quarterback. And wide receivers can't get paid if they're not getting the ball thrown to them. So, again, 15,887 to 22,703 is irrelevant. The reason why I say that is because he had Stephon Diggs, he had Gabe Davis, he had Cole Beasley, he had John Brown. I don't want to hear nothing about Gabe Davis because he turned trash after he got hurt. And then he wasn't the same after that. He became a bum. He became a bum in short order. He wasn't trash from the very beginning. Listen to me.
When was he ever nice?
So you gonna
when was Gabe Davis ever nice, bro? He always have games. He always have a few games throughout the system. Throughout the year.
You gonna sit there and forget the one game wonder that he had versus Casey?
Oh, yeah. Okay. What's the key word? One game wonder, nigga. Game wonder. That's one game wonder. So now
he was a number 2 receiver. He was a number 2 receiver, disguised. Because he was really a number 3. It was Steph Diggs, Cole Beasley, and then him. Okay, so I'm gonna be.
He's never been a 2. He's never been a 2.
He had the size of a 2.
Yeah. I agree.
He messed up his leg, and he said in an interview, and you never say things as a player in an interview. Things that's bulletin board material. I don't want to hear it. You don't ever say, "Oh, I'm never gonna be the same player again." You know, it slowed me down. I just haven't found a step since. And you don't say stuff like that in an interview because people know that stuff. People read that stuff. Little peons like me read that stuff. You think NFL players don't read that stuff?
No confidence.
They're gonna sit there and say, "Yo, listen, this is what it is, and this is what we're gonna attack," and that's that. So, to be quite frank with you, he played great in the beginning as a tier 3, and then after he got hurt, you saw his trajectory diminish mightily to the point where he became a parody of himself, and we shipped him off. We said, bye-bye, go sign somewhere else. Because we know we don't want you. That wasn't a loss to us. That was one thing I didn't feel like was a loss to us. But everything else was past pro when we first got Diggs. We got Davis. When we got Brown back for a cup of tea. We had Cole Beasley stability-wise. We had him here. We had receivers on this team. They literally gave him Emmanuel Sanders. They gave him Dawson Knox. They gave him receivers. You can't act like they didn't put things around him for him to be a pass pro quarterback. And this city's been starving for a pass pro quarterback. So much to the point where we became more of a passing team than a running team. And for years, this Buffalo team was known for running backs. Fred Jackson, C.J. Spiller, Marshawn Lynch, etc. Willis McGahee goes on.
I'm gonna debate you on that. I'm gonna debate you on that.
Go ahead.
Do you know why we was a running back team?
Why?
JP lost, man. Trent Edwards. Fitzpatrick. Who was the black quarterback we drafted? I always forget his name because he got hurt and disappeared. I didn't even see him enough.
EJ Manuel.
EJ Manuel.
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor, who I think is the most overrated Bills player in quarterback history. What quarterback that we had that could have gave receivers the ball for us to pass? What quarterback did we have that was able to give receivers the ball? Let's be honest. We had nothing but the run game, and that's why we was terrible at getting quarterbacks, bro. My whole life, we never had a generational quarterback or a top 10 quarterback ever.
We are going. I could defend Tyrod for a season or two. I could. I could. No. And hey, listen, we could have this debate. We can have this debate because you gonna tell me Lamar Jackson 2-time MVP. Last year's stats. You know who had last year's stats? Before this stuff was cool? Tyrod Taylor. Did he win an MVP? No, the hell he did not. But you know what he did do? He made us relevant.
No, he didn't. Who took us
to the playoffs?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. First of all, and I love this debate. You wanna know why? Tyrod never took us to the playoffs because you know why? Because we had to rely on the Bengals to get us there. He ain't never clinched nothing for us. Because if the Bengals would have lost against the Ravens that game, we never even seen the playoffs. So we had to rely on another team to get us there. He ain't take us nowhere.
So who won us the game? Who wants to game Miami? Who wants to game Miami that?
Tyrod. But guess what? That game wouldn't matter if the Bengals would have lost.
Okay, no.
It wouldn't matter.
That's okay.
All because we won. All because he won that game. We was not into the playoffs. We was not in the playoffs. Even though he won that game, we was not in the playoffs. Even after he won, we had to wait to see if the Bengals beat the Ravens, and they did on the last play of the game. Literally, he ain't take us to no playoffs. That's called luck. We relied on another team.
Okay, so are you gonna call it luck if we get a Lombardi by a field goal, and then Josh Allen's the quarterback that's gonna get us there? Because there ain't gonna be nobody else. Let's just be real.
First of all, let's keep it a buck.
And then we win by a point.
I feel like every team need luck to win a Lombardi, bro. Every team must have some sort of luck.
Are you gonna say it was Josh or the guy directing it, or are you gonna say it was luck?
Oh, I'm gonna give Josh his credit, of course, but it's always luck.
So is Tyrod gonna get his credit?
Hell no, boy.
Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see
what I'm saying? Tyrod was not him, bro.
You see what I'm saying? Listen, they figured out Tyrod. Okay?
Do you know why Tyrod had the highest quarterback rating that season? Why? I want to ask you that. Why?
Because they played in the Greg Roman offense with Marquise Goodwin.
Because he never threw a ball. The man barely threw a ball longer than 10 to 15 yards each play.
He had a little dimer though when he was throwing them bombs though. You can't. Hey, listen, I've been to some games.
How often have you? How often?
Very often. Very often.
Are you serious, bro?
Very often. That when it started, things started to dwindle. Things started to dwindle for Tyrod Taylor after year 3, and it was very weird. It just fell off the face of the earth. He fell off the face of the earth.
He disappeared.
And they figured him out. They figured out that he couldn't throw out routes. At the inside hash, he didn't have the arm after a while. He had injury problems and underlying injury problems, and still played through them. And it hurt his progress. This league, that happens to you. But when you only get allotted one starting job in the league, you're gonna play your ass off to keep that. And he did that for Buffalo, so I'm not gonna rag on him. So that's all I got. That's all I got for Tyrod for today. Let's move. Let's move on.
Yeah. So before we move on, who's your MVP? Let's make this clear again.
Lamar.
I'm Jackson. So let's get into something a little more spicier. You know what? Let's break down this playoff. Let's break down the current playoff picture. Right. So let's get into this. Bam. So Kansas City locked down the first seed, right? If the Bills win against the Jets this Sunday, tomorrow at 1:00 p.m., we will lock down the second seed. Baltimore pretty much locked down the third seed unless we lose the next two games. Houston locked down the fourth seed because they won a division. Steelers locked down the fifth seed, and then we got these two teams in the hunt, the Chargers and the Broncos. So most likely this is going to be the playoff picture at the end of next week, at the end of week 18, right? So now with that being said, I want to go through a little breakdown with you real quick, bro. So the Bills is going to be playing the Denver Broncos at Buffalo. Do you see the Bills winning or the Broncos?
Bills. Next.
Okay. Ravens versus the Chargers. Who you see winning?
Ravens.
Houston versus Steelers.
Steelers.
All right. So now with that being said, the Steelers will be visiting the Kansas City Chiefs in the divisional round. Who do you see? Do you think that could be an upset or no?
No.
Bills versus Ravens. Do you see the Ravens upsetting us?
No.
Or do you see us taking it?
Bills.
Okay. So we're just going through this. We're going to go into more details next week and when the playoffs actually start. We're going to get into details on how we could win and et cetera, et cetera. But we're just going through a little simulation. Bills versus Chiefs. In the AFC Championship. And Kansas.
Bills.
I bet. So we can't really do it for the NFC yet because there's a lot of moving pieces. On the AFC is pretty much secure. NFC, not too much, right? So now let's look at this. Cause I remember Joey Hatchett brought this up earlier. He said the Bengals still have a chance to make it to the playoffs. So this is right now the current AFC picture. So this is live, right? So this is the odds of the Bengals making the playoffs. 10.9%. The Colts have a better odds of making the playoffs than the Bengals. And the Colts will have to lose both their games, and the Broncos will have to lose next week, and Miami will have to lose one out of the next two. So, in other words, the Bengals are relying on 5 losses and 1 win from themselves for them to make the playoffs. So, the odds of that happening, pretty much finding a needle in a haystack. So, that is not happening. The Dolphins are the worst team in December. They definitely not making it. The Colts don't have the firepower, nor do they have the personnel to make the playoffs at all. So now with that being said, in my true belief, this is right here is going to be the playoff picture. Right? So now let's get into keeping it a buck. So let's get rid of that because we're done with the slideshow. So now keeping it a buck is gonna get real spicy in here. Right? So I'm gonna let you know something that y'all don't want to hear about this Buffalo Bills team. And y'all not gonna like anything I'm about to tell you. And ask me if I care. Oh, I really don't. Hold on, let me drink some water because I'm about to get nasty. Here we go. Number one, this been a break personality, culture that we have. It's the same reason why we lose every year in the playoffs. Oh, what does bend or don't break? Bend mean we are willing to give up the run game. Also, what that mean? Oh, the run game is our weakness. So we are willing to give up our weakness instead of let them play against our strength. What's our strength? Pass coverage. Nickel zone. So we rather give up our weakness so they could beat us. Make it make sense. Every team that, for example, the Ravens, how did they beat us? Bend or break. They ran down us. They ran us down. We looked at goofy. We didn't even look like a fucking team out there. Every year in the playoffs, guess what don't show up? That run defense. How do every team keep their offensive drives surviving? The run defense. We can't stop nothing. We can't stop a running back. And if we do stop a running back, guess what type of running back is it? Built like James Cook, somebody small. We can't stop no physical runner. I am sick of this bend and don't break personality on this team. You know what else I'm sick of? Sean McDermott. Oh, Sean McDermott. Oh, we 12-3. How can you be mad at Sean McDermott? First of all, Sean McDermott, he's the only team. We are one of the only teams who swap out our defensive line every other play. Do you see the Chiefs swapping out Chris Jones? Do you see the Steelers swapping out TJ Watt?
No.
Every team keep their best players on that fucking line every year, every play, every down throughout the whole season, except for us. And me and Harry had this conversation. Me, HB, had this conversation, and he even said, oh, our players can't catch a rhythm. And why is that? Because they not on the play, they not on the field long enough. Oh, we got to switch. Oh, let me let Von Miller on, who ain't doing shit. Oh, come on, Russo. Let me let AJ Epinesa in. What is you doing? That is a problem. And a lot of people is overlooking all these problems. And I have a big problem with that. And guess what? We have a big problem coming in the playoffs if we keep the same mentality. And guess what? Because winning heals a lot. And because we 2-3, people will think, oh, we don't really got too many holes in our team. Yes, we do. We are just as beatable as every other team in this playoffs. We are just as beatable. And all it takes is for one team to get that run game starting early and we playing from behind. That's all it takes. Very simple. If we don't come out hitting boys and getting 3 and outs, we are in the long game. Bottom line. Something else I'm sick of is this medical staff. Keeping everything in-house. Oh, Josh Allen. Oh, he just hurt his hand against the Patriots. Guess what they want to talk about? Oh, his left hand been broken all season. But y'all been telling us he was good. He hit his elbow. Oh, not just his elbow, but the man couldn't feel his fucking hand for 5 to 10 minutes afterwards. Yes, it was cold. Because guess what? When I was out there sitting on the stands, I lost a few toes. But by the time I left, my toes came back. So I understand that.
I feel that.
But at the end of the day, this medical team, I think we have minus the San Francisco, I think we have one of the worst medical teams in the entire fucking league. Because every time a superstar come back or a player that came back from an injury, they always get hurt again. We can never be healthy. I don't even know what a healthy team look like. And this is the most healthy team we ever going to have in years when it comes to the playoffs. This medical staff need to take accountability because our medical staff is the same reason why we hurt at the end of every year. And my third thing is the special teams. Our special team coordinator need to get the fuck out of here. He needs to be fired. And I swear to God, let him do something crazy in the playoffs. I am walking to that Bills stadium and I'm breaking down the doors looking for that motherfucker. And I'm on his ass. I'm going to fire you. I'm going to come with your papers. Get that fuck out my city. Go somewhere else. Because this special team.
4 straight weeks.
4 straight weeks.
Of blunders.
And if we want to be honest, we haven't had a special teams in fucking 3 to 4 years. Guess what? The only thing that we can remember good about our special teams, you know what it was, Harry? And I'm going to bring it up to you. It was when DeMar Hamlin got hurt in the next game we played the New England Patriots. And we had that kick return. Prior to that, bro, tell me anything good happened on our special teams. Tell me. On either side of special teams. You know why? Because it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. He need to get up out of here. Our special team is sorry. Our defense is sorry. Even though we on the season, regular season, we good as that. The regular season don't mean nothing to me at this point. It's a given. We used to it. It's a given. Show up in the playoffs. Tyler Bass. You know what? I'm going to say that for next week. Because you're going to get that work. Because I'm on your ass. Because you missed a lot of field goals when we was putting up 30, 40 points. You missed field goals through them games, but people were like, oh, you only missed one field goal. You only said that because we was winning. And what if he was losing and he missed that field goal? What would you be talking then?
Accountability has to be there.
What would you be saying then if he was down and he missed that field goal? Y'all want to complain about it because we was winning and it ain't matter. It mattered to me because in the playoffs, we ain't going to be blowing teams out. We're not going to be putting up 30 and 40 points against these teams. Because guess what? The kicker is just as important as the quarterback. The kicker put points on the board without having to rely on nobody else. So that's my problem. So if I'm going to keep in the buck, that's my keeping in the buck, bro. What you got for me, big dog?
You have said a lot of valid points. You've said a lot of valid points. Now, that sums up the season. I'm going to keep it a buck. We've had an overachieving season this year. Okay? Now, if it's one thing that you have to keep in mind is that we have subpar receivers on our team. And it's okay to admit that. We have one good receiver as of right now that's proven. And everybody else is a question mark. We have solid running back game. We have, when we're all in this in 1 year, we've done all this turnaround in one season. In just a couple months, to be quite frank, because we just signed all these players. So we kept a couple steady pieces. It's an overachieving season. For people that is going to get mad, if we don't take it all the way to the chip, we can't be upset. At the end of the day, we have to be happy with where we're at. Let the chips fall where they may. And let the show move on to next year. So, at the end of the day, when you look back at the season, it's a magical season. If Josh gets the MVP, it's great. But it's an overachieving season. It's almost comparable to what Cam Newton did when Kelvin Benjamin was out for the season, and he had Philly Brown and old Ted Ginn Jr. at receiver, and Greg Olsen, which was at the time he was in his prime. That was probably the last good year he had. After that, then that's when Jonathan Stewart and D'Lo went crazy, in the run game. And what does that compare to? James Cook and Ray Davis.
I agree.
So it's a lot of comparable stats, man. It's a lot of comparable things. It's an overachieving season. And what happened to that team after it was done? Look at them now.
They fell apart.
Look at them now.
They fell apart. Yeah.
So brace yourself. Because it can go one way or it can go another. I pray that it goes one way. I hope we go take it all the way to New Orleans and we finally get us one. But if we don't, we have had an overachieving season with almost no key parts in the receiving core. We're a one-sided Bills team that if you stop us in the run, we don't know. We're going to be one-dimensional. It's going to be tough to win, even with Josh Allen, even with him. So that's me keeping it a buck.
I like how you try to give some confidence to this team. But one thing for sure, two things for certain. One thing I can say, due to the organization, due to how we draft, I don't think we will end up like the Panthers. I think as a foundation, we are young. We don't really have to pay a lot of players. Only player that we really paying as of right now is Josh Allen. Technically, we don't have to pay James Cook. We got Ray Davis.
Oh, yeah, he has one more year.
You know what I mean? What receiver are we really paying? Because Amari Cooper, most likely, he going to leave us next year. In all reality, you said, do I think?
Yeah. Oh, that's an off-season question. We'll leave that.
We're going to say that for all season.
Yeah, we'll see, yeah.
Deion Dawkins already paid. I'm about to say, who is it? Kumaro? I think that's only offensive other player that we need to pay, if I'm not mistaken. So technically,
Kumaro's been up out of there.
Huh?
Kumaro's been up out of here.
Yeah, so pretty much is like we have a solid foundation. Yeah, I know we have a lot of dead cap space, but we don't got to worry about too much. We can't bring players in, but our foundation is already solid enough to where we don't really need to bring any big names, as I can see this year. Even though we overachieve, we also showed y'all this is the core. All we need to do is add more pieces to it, and that's gonna come over time. So yeah. I don't think we're gonna end up like the Panthers. I think we're gonna be good for years to come, especially with this start.
I would like to see we have a lot better structure.
Yeah. And especially with how sorry this division is. You want to go to the Jets? Their organization is fried. Once Arron Rodgers retire, they owe too much money. They paying players too much money. They done.
Miami
the Patriots
stuck with Tua.
Miami stuck with Tua. I ain't finna get into that. They fried. They done too. Patriots, they got Drake May, but they don't got nothing else to compliment them. And one thing about Robert Kraft,
too cheap.
Too cheap and can't draft to save his life, right? So now, with that being said, let's get into the 2-minute warning. All right, so this is a new segment that we are bringing aboard. 2-minute warning. What is 2-minute warning? All right, let me explain to y'all what 2-minute warning is, right? So 2-minute warning is the ending of the show. So with that being said, we go through all the games for the week that's coming up for Sunday. So Harry gonna give you his picks on who gonna win each game, and then afterwards he gonna give you a minute, and then the second minute I'm gonna give you all my picks for this week, right? And so that's what 2-minute warning is. So now with that being said, let's get it, big dog.
Give it to me.
Bam. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Chargers versus Patriots.
Oh yeah, that already happened. So Chargers already won that. Bengals won that.
Oh yeah. So Cardinals versus Rams.
I'm not even sure who won that because this was what 11:30. So
yeah.
They're probably still playing, but I would give that to the Rams.
Cowboys versus Eagles.
Eagles next.
Panthers versus Buccaneers.
Bucks.
Jets versus Buffalo Bills.
Let's go Buffalo.
Colts versus Giants.
Colts.
Raiders versus Saints.
Give me the Raiders.
Titans versus Jaguars.
Give me the Jaguars.
Yeah, they both sorry.
Jaguars.
Yeah, they both sorry.
Give me the Jaguars at home.
All right. Dolphins versus Browns.
Give me Jameis. I don't like the Dolphins.
Packers.
It's what it is.
You going Jameson? You going Jameis?
I'll go Jameis.
All right. Packers versus Vikings. That's a good game.
Sam Darnold on fire. I'll give it to him. Minnesota Vikings.
Minnesota. That's a good game. Falcons versus Commanders.
Commanders.
I already knew he's going for that. Lions versus 49ers.
Lions.
All right. So let me go through my list, right?
Start with the
versus Patriots.
Start with the Cowboys.
Let me go with the Cowboys. Cowboys versus Eagles. At home, Eagles. I'm going Eagles. Panthers versus Buccaneers. Panthers are sorry. I'm going Buccaneers. Jets versus Bills. It could be a trap game, but I'm going Buffalo. We're going to secure the second seed. Colts versus Giants. I'm going Colts. Raiders versus Saints. I'm actually going Saints over the Raiders. Titans versus Jaguars. I'm going Titans over the Jaguars. Dolphins versus Browns. I'm going Dolphins over the Browns. Packers versus Vikings. I think the Packers are going to upset the Vikings at home. Falcons versus Commanders. Commanders, not even a questionable. And Lions versus 49ers. Detroit all day. So now, with that being said, man, hey, I appreciate everybody for tuning in to episode 3 of Bills United podcast, man. Listen, man, we couldn't have done this without y'all, man. Yo, I appreciate you, Doug. I appreciate you, Alicia. I appreciate you, Alicia. I appreciate you, Joe Hatch, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, for commenting, keeping us occupied, keeping us company, man. Thank y'all for giving us your time. Y'all didn't have to do that. Hey, forever appreciate it, man. We can't do this without y'all brothers, man. Thank you so much, man. Let's get it. What you got, HB?
Hey, man, it was a long show, man. We had to get it done. A lot of catching up we had to do. A lot of the rust we had to knock off because of being off for almost 3 weeks because of heavy peak season and work and everything. So everybody that tuned in tonight, everybody that commented, everybody that subscribed, we appreciate the support. And we're just gonna keep on coming. Now that we're light off the peak and everything, we're gonna keep on coming. It's gonna be
man. So
it's gonna be a little more condensed.
all I'm saying is, hey, next week, since we're gonna truly know what the playoff picture looking like, we're gonna get in depth when it comes to that playoffs. And it's gonna get nice and greedy. We're gonna get down to the beans and the meat and potatoes. You feel me? So now that being said, hey man, tune in next Saturday, man. We're gonna be live. Hey man, it's your boy KI, man. My brother right here, man. Hey man, we appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good night. Y'all be safe.
All right, yo.
Hey, hold on. I gotta end it with this.